Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It's November 19th. This will be our chart lesson for today. And a couple of things real quickly. I apologize about the video Thursday with the sound issues. I don't know what happened. I did a quick test before I started this video. Everything was working properly, and I hadn't changed anything. So I don't know what happened. Something was interfering. I do use cordless headphones, and obviously something was interfering that day. I don't know what it was, but it's happened a couple of times in the past. And the only other thing I've been able to narrow it down to is maybe it had something to do with my phone, but I just really not, I didn't, my phone was sitting in the same place it's always sitting. So not sure what happened, but anyway, regardless, I apologize, but it was too long. I wasn't going to go back and redo the video again. So hopefully you got some kind of value out of it. If not, I apologize. But anyway, a couple other things. It is Thanksgiving this week here in the U.S., so I'll probably be working tomorrow, but I'll take off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday most likely, and won't be back until the following Monday. So we'll have a mid-morning chart posted on the site tomorrow, and I'll do a chart lesson tomorrow, and that's going to wrap our week up, and I'll take the rest of the week off. So um, I'm not sure what the actual trading days are. I haven't even looked at the calendar. I'm guessing the market will be closed Thursday and Friday. Maybe it won't even be closed Friday. I'm not sure, but it'll be light trading most likely if it is still a regular trading day. But like I said, I haven't even looked at the trading schedule. But regardless, I'm just going to work today and tomorrow, and then I'm going to take the rest of the week off. So no mid-morning chart or chart lessons Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday today, or this week. Sorry. Hope everybody has a great holiday, and I like to use those holidays for a chance to get a break and get away from trading a little bit. So it's always a good thing to do. A lot of times when you're new, you hate. I remember when I first started trading, I hated holidays because it meant I wasn't going to get a chance to trade. But that's not a good thing. It's really not, because it tends to play into the mental aspects of trading and over trading and all those other things. So it's good to get a break and get away from it. So take that opportunity if you get it. But anyway, let's talk about today. We had a nice downtrend. I measured this first leg and then carried it over to where this is where we had our first breaking correction, and so that would have given you a nice target if we continued down here. And you can see we had a nice little smaller channel, tighter channel working lower. We didn't quite get to the new low. We tried multiple times and then it reversed, but we just couldn't get there. We just kind of went flat, really, is what happened. And so we still had a downward bias across there. That's the reason you see mostly sales, but there weren't really any good buy setups until we finally had our second leg down to a new low, and things kind of took off then. But anyway, I'm going to back out. We'll talk about the trades, and we'll wrap it up for today. A really strong downtrend. And again, there's so much volatility and so much volume here. You could argue for some other trades, but I'm just going to go over the ones that I really like that seem like a safe bet, clear bet. So if there's something in there that you thought might have been a possibility, it probably was. And I may, as I see them as we go along, I'll probably say something quickly about them if nothing else. But anyway, you had to be a little patient this morning. There is a second entry short right here. But this is really your signal bar. This is a possibility. This is a very tempting trade. To be honest with you, I kind of like it. I didn't mark it. I guess I could at least mark it green. I'll go ahead and mark it green. But it's a second entry short. Notice the new low, first entry, then second entry. But this is really your signal bar. This is kind of an inside bar. You could have gone short right there, but your stop still had to go above the green bar right here, up in this area, one or two ticks above that. And it was a nice quick trade, but it's not a perfect setup. I'll leave it green. And then notice we came down. We had another second entry short right here, but it's too neutral a bar. And then we had another lower high right here, but again, a very neutral doji. And then finally we had a little third attempt to go higher. So you got like a little 3 test there. And now you got a nice bearish bar. That's where I like going short. Another quick move down. Then we bounced. Again, there's another second entry short up here. Notice the new low, first entry, second entry. And this is very similar to this trade here, in that it's kind of an inside bar. And this is not a really nice bullish bar, but it's just not a good bearish bar either. So you might have considered that one again. That's another one you could probably make green. I'm a stickler about those signal bars. Some days you get days like this. There's a bunch of them in here that you just don't have a really good signal bar. So here's another one. There's a lower high and a confirmation of that trend line. But notice how you're stacking up there, and you just don't really, you got a little 2-bar matching low. It's just not really a good setup. Turns out to be a great move, but that you don't know that ahead of time. Then we move up here. Notice you move up, there's a little first entry. It didn't break lower, then you move up. So this is really a hidden second entry, two legs up, and it's kind of that repeat pattern again. I like that one. Of course, this one has a matching high, so you could use that for the signal bar either way. If it breaks lower, we're probably going lower again. And I would have measured this leg as well. I didn't show this one, but I would have measured this leg as well, and then look for a measured move from here too. And that gives you the target way down there. We actually went much further on that target. So yeah, I like that one. Moves down, and you move up, first entry, and you get a second entry when it broke below here. But you also tried to go higher again and made a little 2-bar matching high with a bearish bar. That's the first break of this shorter term little channel working down. So another good place to go short, and that the bottom falls out of that one. That turns out to be a pretty good move. Too much sideways action. That's too much congestion there. You don't want to trade out of that one. You might have looked at that as a repeat pattern. I should at least talk about that. Notice that, and you made your high, you tested it once, you tested it twice. It looks very similar to that one. So that's a possibility, but it's still not a very good signal bar. So you could argue for that. It is off the trend line. We've already had a break and a new low though, but we may get that second leg, and there was a measured target. We actually had already gone more than the measured move. So, but that's another possibility. And then we bounced. We're just working higher here. You actually get a lower high right here that's a little bit away from the EMA, not real far, but there's probably enough room. But it doesn't break lower and gives you another doji, and it's really you haven't really had a close outside this trend line, although you do have a overshoot here. Looks like an overshoot. Notice the little gap there. Tells you you're probably in the right place. And then notice what happens. First entry, second entry. So that's a second entry short. Not a very good signal bar. However, look at this high. First entry, second entry. That's all the same move up there. So when it turned down there, you could treat that like a failed second entry short on a second entry short counting from the lows. I like that one. Normally I would ignore that trade because of that signal bar, but you had some help on that one. And then you get this little repeat pattern again. You made a high right there. You tested it once, tested it twice. Right off that EMA, right off, let me get that out of there, right off that trend line. Big, nice quick move down. Then we're just kind of going sideways. This one, if it wasn't for these lows across here, I'd probably say when this one broke higher and turned down, you might go short there. But, you know, that's so congestive. We've already had a break, and we've already got a new low in place, so I just wait. And I really don't see anything across here I like the rest of the way down until we finally get another second entry right here back at the main trend line. Notice you move up first entry, you move up, and it actually, I don't know if it actually went higher or lower first here, but it's a big bearish bar. Just wait for it to close and go short there. Notice that you get a second entry long right here that fails. You get a chance to go short right there, and then off we go again. And this one you would have got just enough to get out before it bounced again. And there's a lower high right here. Notice the new low, first entry. So there's a second entry short right here. And it is a double top, but it's just too bullish a bar. And then you got another doji inside it. I'm not crazy about it. We're still working lower here, but it's very choppy, very risky in here. And then notice it bounces. And then we just kind of get stuck across here. But we made this high. Try to go higher once. Try to go higher twice. So you got a double test of that. Nice bearish bar. You could count that as a second entry. Notice that low, first entry, second entry. I like that one. Tries to come up. It makes a lower high here, but by this time, we're starting to make higher lows every time. So I'm a little leery of it by that point. Again, when you try to go lower that, or try to go higher that many times and fail and then make a lower high, you're probably going lower. So that's one you could probably argue for. I'll at least make it green. But, oops. I really didn't like the fact that we were making higher lows here each time. That's not a good sign. Most of the time we will break on out there, but we didn't. It went on lower, and then here's that little double test again in a bearish bar. Again, I like it. And then we failed out the lower side. Notice there's just not anything really setting up at the lows. And it bounces. And you turn down right off those highs again, and you make a lower high, breaks higher, turns down. Then you get a failed second entry long right there, right off that little short-term trend line. You still got room here. You got to be careful in the middle, but this was an overall down bias day, so I like that one. And then now we finally got another new low, and then we make a higher low here. The main thing I'm looking at is this failed breakout. There was a failed breakout here, but you never really got a higher low. Here you get the higher low, and you actually get a second entry long too. Notice that it pushes through first entry, second entry. So I like that one. Then you come back here again, and you confirm that trend line, and you get another second entry with a big bullish bar. First entry, second entry. So when it broke higher there, I like going long. And then you have another pullback to the trend line here with a bullish bar. I like that one. And this is really a first entry, but you can count that as a new swing low. It's a little lower than that bounce right there. So first entry, second entry, you probably treat that like a failed second entry short. And so I like that one. And off it goes. If you don't use that, if you don't treat that, if you're not counting that failed second entry short, you got a trend line right there, and you don't really have a close outside the new low, so that would probably be a little bit questionable if you looked at it without the failed second entry short. So just keep that in mind. But that is a key entry point. The EMA, the trend line, both nice bullish bar, and we're making higher highs and higher lows, and we've bounced off that trend line all the way up. So there's some reasons to like it. And that really got us into the 2 o'clock hour. I don't see anything else here I really like. Not a bad day. There were plenty of trades on the way down. You could be done really early today if you started, if you caught one of these early ones. There were some runners in here as well. This was relatively straightforward as well across here. We still had a downward bias, and it was obvious where the resistance was up here. And then we had the little reversal pattern down here. And we trended up until we had a break. And it looked like we were going to continue lower again, but we ended up closing back at the upper side of this trading range. So we're back below 2,700 again. I mean, there's been some really fast 100-point moves lately. But you can see the downtrend, the break, the moves to the new low, somewhat of a reversal. I don't know if you really would call this a reversal. I just think we were going sideways and you got a failed break lower and then you failed out the upper side and then again back down here at the low side. Now you're back up at the high side. So I think the range is still going on right there is really all you're looking at. So I don't think this is a strong reversal off a new low or anything like that. So we could continue the downtrend tomorrow or we may rally a little bit. We'll just have to see. But I'm not really looking at that as a reversal. I'm looking at that just as a failed break lower and then a failed break higher and then just testing the lows again. So hopefully that's pretty clear. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up today. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.